Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Luna Wisdom Tarot. I'm Antoinette and I have another pick a card reading for you. This was going to be about how you are currently killing the game right now. So you could be asking about anything, but you're just doing, it's kind of like a general messages around all the things that you're really just doing really well at in your life. So with that, we'll jump into the messages here. We have pile 1, which is Eagle Vision. So this card could appeal to you. And then I pulled an oracle card from the, was it Rose Oracle deck? So that's pile 1, Eagle. Pile 2 is Armadillo, Protection. So this one may appeal to you. Or pile 3, Owl, Observation. Okay, I want you to meditate on the cards and decide which one appeals to you. I do want to stop and just really thank all of the subscribers on my channel. Thank you so much for the support. I love reading all of your comments, so just thank you. And if you're new to the channel, so glad that you're joining us. It's my style of reading is really intended for everybody to just kind of be able to get answers to their questions, at the same time have a pick-me-up while we're at it, right? And there's so many things that are negative in the world, so I always want this channel to be something that evokes like positive light, you feel uplifted and hopefully entertained as well. Okay, with that, I just want to remind everybody that this is general messages, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And yes, let's go ahead and get started. See you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose Eagle Vision, this is your reading. And then we have a complimentary Rose Oracle deck that will also help guide the way. So the subject today is how you're killing the game. So we're going to go through general messages. We're going to ask for what skills you're using right now that's leading to your success and what's your secret weapon. Okay, with that, we're going to go ahead and look at this. So this is kind of the main focus of today. So Eagle Vision is time to look inward with an attentive eye. Allow your heart to guide you, and opportunities to be never dreamed of were possible. They present themselves when you least expect it. Get ready for greatness. So you're evoking Eagle Vision right now, and you're really you're honing in on the opportunities that present itself. And then the Grandmother's card, remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. Hopefully you can see that card there. So what I see with both of these cards right out the gate is that you're really this card, the Eagle card, talks about, it starts out with look inward with an attentive eye and allow your heart to guide you. And this talks about, your perspective and remembering your roots. Perspective and vision, it's all about, you have this natural sense of knowing that I'm seeing really paying off for you. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start shuffling and get your messages. So how is pile 1 currently killing the game? How is pile 1 currently killing the game? Okay, 6 of Swords. Oh, love that for you. How is pile 1 currently killing the game? 7 of Pentacles. How is pile 1 currently killing the game? Knight of Pentacles as well. Oops, a whole lot of them dropped there, so I'm actually going to put those back and reshuffle to make sure we're getting the right messages here. That's pile 1 killing the game. Okay, and one more. 5 of Cups. A lot of 5s here. 5, 5, 5 could be significant to you. Okay. So, how are you currently killing the game? What I see here is that you're using your vision. So that goal, like your superpower, is the idea that, you're able to like remember where you came from. Um, I think about like, you know, I'll use for whatever reason the songs in my head, which I don't know why, but thinking about Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the Block, she always talks about she remembers where she came from, right? That's what the song's all about. And that's kind of your vibe. Like you have never forgotten where you've come from, like the inner workings, like how you got started. And you're not just about where you're at today, but you're very aware of all the lessons that it took to get you where you are today. And people may even, um, they may even misjudge you. Like they may see you as somebody who, you know, didn't really have a lot of challenges, or like, oh, you know, pile one's just like they've just, you know, been so lucky, or they haven't really seen struggle, or they haven't experienced struggle, or they haven't had a challenge. And that's a lot of people's perspectives. But little do they know you have a lot, and you also have a very strong connection with even, we could say even like for some of you generational healing could be a thing, like being part of like, you know, when they talk about generational traumas, like you could be like knowing generational healing, like working through things that have been a struggle for many generations, and you're kind of the one to break that cycle. That could be significant for you, but it doesn't have to be. It could just simply mean that you understand that your grandparents went through a lot, or that your parents have gone through a lot, like everything it took to get you in the position that you're in. I don't know how well this card comes through, but there's very faint pictures of different grandmothers, and they're different races and cultures. But, and then there's like this, you know, kind of, I don't even know what that would be, like a void, I guess, in the middle. But it evokes this, like, this respect and this sense of love. And like, it's taken a lot to get to this stage. And for you, Pile One, you really are leaning into the perspective of remembering, like, not just where you came from, but that what it took to get you to have the opportunities that you have. So with that in mind, you have an incredible sense of vision. So this is all about like the card that you chose, like you look inward, right? Like that's how it started. You allowed your heart to guide you. Yes, of course. And you're allowing like your previous experiences, and even like the respect for your, you know, the previous generations, like your lineage, like all of that comes into play. Even if it's not consciously, it's subconsciously, you have like a strong respect for that. And this comes in even further when we look at the fact that you say that it talks about here, get ready for greatness. It's almost like this vision you have. You're not looking to build something that's temporary or that's a flash in the pan. You're looking at building something that is incredibly, that will last a generation. You're looking for greatness. So this leads into your tarot message, which is the Six of Swords comes out first. When we think about the Six of Swords energy, there's a lot of like what's happening here. It's like this could be transitional energy, right? Like look at this. She's holding a bag here, and she's like going forward. The, you know, the proverbial swords or the ravens. Looks like she's on a shore, so she's arriving. She's already taken off on this destination, and now she's arriving. And we see here that it's like she's looking down, she's in thought. What I'm seeing here for you, Pile One, is that you have willingly took on times of transition and let go of the past, even though you don't know where you're headed. This shows vision, and the fact that you had a vision of, and a perspective like, I see myself as wanting to be like in a different situation, and you're willing to go after it, Pile One. Like you're willing to take those risks and to go like into uncharted waters. Now the Seven of Pentacles is beautifully symbolic here. It comes in as well. It talks about your patience, which someone with vision always would have to have patience, because nothing in life just comes automatic. You're not going to automatically be good at something. It's going to take time. So as you're going off to this new experience, like we'll use this example, like she's arriving on the shore. She's arriving on the shore, and she knows that whatever she's going to be starting with her bag in hand, she's not going to start at the top. It's just going to have to work her way there. So she has to have this long-term view. She has to be willing to invest what? Time and energy and maybe even some uncomfortable moments to get to where she wants to be. That's what the Seven of Pentacles talks about here. It's talking about your commitment to investing in your future. Even though you don't know exactly where it's headed, you have a long-term vision in mind. We'll find out more about what that long-term vision is next. But for now, we're going to focus on the fact that these are the skills. Remember how we talked about what we're asking for, general messages around the skills and like what you're bringing to the table. And these are the skills that you're bringing: patience, the willingness, and the courage to set off in transition mode. So then we follow up with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is this energy. It's an active energy, right? It's about hard work. It's about productivity. It's about going forward and being consistent. So now you've already taken the risk. Now you're building and investing in your future. And now you're maintaining a focused, work toward the future. You're really honing in on what you want. You're not stopping. You're going forward. You're showing a sense of action. That leads us to the Five of Wands. And this Five of Wands energy can relay several things, but what I see here for you is that you're not afraid of reaching for your goal, even in amidst competition. This is your other, we'll call it even your secret weapon. You may not come off as a competitive person, and let's just say you don't necessarily seek competition, but you're not afraid of it, pile one. In fact, you're incredibly good with it. You use it as motivation. You don't let things get in your head. You're focused on where you're going after. This is beautiful for you, pile one. You do an excellent job at going after what you want. So as we see, everybody's kind of doing their own game. They're trying to go after this, this fireball in the air, but you are the closest. I see you as this person here who's calmly raising their leg and getting balanced and reaching for the fire, whereas everybody else is almost in these frantic moves. You very calmly go after what you want. This is very significant for you, pile one, because it shows you know how to evoke calmness in the midst of conflict. You know how, when everybody else is up in upheaval, you can calm yourself down and handle it in a rational way. There's the Five of Cups energy next. So this Five of Cups energy we see here as it's about loss, disappointment, sometimes regret. What I see here is that when you have these moments is where your vision comes in the strongest. How can I say that? Because what I see here is that what's been lost, and kind of looking at what's been lost along the way, you may have the vision, you may have this beautiful qualities of being able to let things go. But sometimes when you let things go, sometimes you'll focus on the loss that has happened. And if that was the case, you can easily shift out of that with the vision card. So what I see for you here, pile one, is that you have this ability to really just, even in difficult times, find that sense of vision that brings you out of being in a depressive spiral or being incredibly sad over something. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So for pile one, how are they killing the game? I'd like to get clarification on these cards here. The Star card comes out first. So I'm looking for clarification cards on the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, of course. Looking for clarification on these cards. And this is why you're going to be successful. This is why you're successful. This is why you're the eagle. You have a huge vision. So what is that vision? So we saw it right out the gate with the Six of Swords. And we talked about this ability to transition and to move on and to know that you're just starting out, being open to that, pile one. You're doing an excellent job of being open to where you're headed. So then we have the Star card come on top. So this is our clarification card here. What I like about the Star card coming on top of here, Star card is hope, okay? Star card is faith. It's about being inspired. When you're arriving at this new challenge, this new destination, when you're going after what you truly want, pile one, the Star card comes in with complete clarification. And this card is speaking to the fact and the idea that you are a very hopeful person. Remember we talked about vision? So you have a vision for your life and long term and what you want to go after. It's kind of in between, is coming together as it goes, but you have like that long term vision. The Star card really represents the fact that you go into your new situations, in these new transition moments. You go into these moments as the Star card, you go into these moments having incredible faith around where you're headed and what can happen next. And you just have hope that everything that your long-term vision is going to come together. Now then, the Seven of Pentacles, the sign of investing. Remember how we talked about you're willing to do the work, right? You're willing to show the courage, and hence courage paired with faith. And here you're willing to do the investment around your future. The Four of Wands comes up as a clarification card. Comes up with, you're sure if you invest in your future, you will be celebrating on the other side. You are sure that you will have moments where you can have loved ones around you. You can have these amazing community that's all based on what you built. If we look at this picture, back to the Six of Swords, because I think it's so significant for you, it's really showing that you are willing and capable of taking a risk, of moving on, of restarting, and then showing the fact that you're willing to invest into your future long term, which that's going to lead to community, to a strong home life, to celebrating times, just to the life that you want, not the life that this is why you left the past. This is why you're on the boat of transition, because you wanted more for yourself, and it shows that clarification, your long-term vision. Then we have the Strength card on top of the Knight of Pentacles. This is ensuring that you are super strong, because when it comes down to being practical, being consistent, working towards your goals, being almost methodical about stuff, this is what you do, Pile 1. You push it through day after day. I'm so sorry. Worst time to yawn. But you do. You push it through every day. You push it through strong. You push it through with conviction. It's not easy to go after your goals when you're first building. And that's what we're talking about here. It's like you're building your new place. And so that's where the Strength card comes in. It's showing this conviction that you have that's incredibly strong. Now this is followed up by the Five of Wands, right? Reaching for that goal, being confident even in the midst of conflict. This King of Swords brings it completely home, because this King of Swords here, this energy, talks about you are a strong leader. You lead with mental clarity. You have an emotional intelligence about you. You are decisive. You can rule your words with the sharpness of a blade, but you can also speak truth. You can also show clarity. This is all that you use in conflict. This is why you can stand so confidently reaching for the goal while others are struggling, because you've built mastery around especially your communication. Then we see the Five of Cups. And what I love about this card is this was the one card where we said, you know what, there's going to be difficult times. And at times you may feel like, almost like losing hope and like mourning the past and, just hard moments. But the wheel shows the wheel of fortune turns in your favor. This is something that's guaranteed. This is how you're killing the game, because you always remember the wheel is turning in your favor, even in difficult times. So this is where you're at so far, Pile 1. We're going to ask a little bit more of tarot. So now I'm going to ask, what is your secret weapon? We have the Empress came out. What is Pile 1's secret weapon? The Temperance card. What is Pile 1's secret weapon? I apologize for the glare. It's that time of night. Three of Cups. I love that for you. Ace of Pentacles. What is Pile? Of course, 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Your secret weapon. You start off with the Empress. You are abundant in nature. You are a person that can appreciate and manifest. Remember we talked about you had vision? The Empress card is really a card of abundance. It's a card of nurturing. It's a card of like being in touch with your senses, being in the mode, like just being completely abundant. It's on top of the Star card. You got a lot of major arcana, actually, now I'm looking at this. The Empress card for you is one of your secret weapons. You know you're very abundant by nature and you lean into it. You don't hold on to it like you're afraid you're losing it. You lean into it. It's like you own the fact that you're abundant. You own the fact that's like, okay, this is like I'm in my zone. And you don't shy away from it. You don't shy away from it at all, pile one. The Temperance card comes up next. You have this beautiful balance on your hands. Like, you're very, when we talked about here, like, trust the weavings, that's where I see the Temperance card. The Temperance card is like having that balance, right? Like, it's balancing like sun energy and moon energy, you know, and you see how it's kind of correlating and has these different energies around the sky. And this is about, in my opinion, the spirit of allowing, the spirit of balance, spirit of, because we already talked about abundance here, right? But you're very good about balancing your process. Keeping your vision in mind was the second row. The first row was about who you are and the process in front of you and what you're building. And what I love here, as we go to Three of Cups, is very strong in relationships, you know? You have strong friendships, strong collaboration, strong just partners, like people in your life that just have your back. This is because, you know, the vision. You invest in relationships that are nurturing for you and nurturing for them, but you don't invest in toxic relationships. This is further brought home by the Ace of Pentacles. This talks about new opportunities, right? Manifestation, abundance. Like, for you, as equal, you will invest equally into your friendships and your relationships as you will into more financial endeavors, your career, your livelihood, like all the things that are around that, right? Like, that's what you're investing in. And then the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles, we're seeing here that you're probably like, the way you have set things in motion, this is your long-term vision card. You're envisioning abundance, hence all the pentacles. You're envisioning strong relationships. You see it looks like parents here with, because of the child, you know, but definitely it implies relationship, a happy dog, all these lanterns. Like, this is your long-term vision. It's a vision of success, of financial success and abundance, of you know, strong relationships, right? Strong loving relationships in your life. We talked about building your home as represented here by the Four of Wands, having a strong community and all of that. That is seen full-fledged in the Ten of Pentacles energy. So I think it's important to note that is your long-term vision, and that's what you're working toward. And the back of the deck shows death/rebirth. Your vision is to if you have to go through a rebirth process to bring you completely there, okay? It's a process that you want to make sure comes to you full-fledged, you know? Like, you're not going to give up. You're going to be like, okay, what do I need to let go of and be reborn? Isn't that how we started this message? That's how we started it, because it was transition. It was a rite of passage, like you're moving to a new stage of your life. That's how we kicked it off. And you're moving forward with complete vision. And so it's ending with the fact that you're going to be reborn. And remember that last message here. Get ready for greatness, the eagle. Get ready for greatness, pile one. It is here. And just to confirm, we have two Oracle deck cards that I pulled. This is from the, gosh, which is this one called? I will throw it in the comments because I don't remember now, but it's, I can't remember the first name, but it's like tarot and it's pretty good. So we have the Scorpio card that came out for you. This is card number 8, and then Neptune, card 21. So when we think about the Scorpio energy is what? It's about transformation. You know what's crazy is I pulled these oracle cards yesterday. I pre-shuffled them, pulled them, and then I didn't pull any of the other cards till right now when we've been talking. So it's just insane. Like, tarot is just so cool how it just always comes together. Doesn't matter the timing. It always comes together in beautiful flow. So the Scorpio card, transformation. That's what this is bringing home. You are getting ready for greatness. So if you're in the stage like this, Six of Swords energy, where you're kind of going to try something new and you're taking a risk and you're starting from the bottom, right? Know that start from the bottom, go for it, and you will get to where you want to go. Transformation, death and rebirth, this is the vibe right now, but this is also how you're killing the game, because you can already be on this path. For some of you, you can have already done this path and you're doing a second round, and this is just a reminder, like, remember how successful you were the last time? You're going to be just as successful this time. I feel like anybody in this pile, you have had many times in your life where you've evoked the Eagle Vision card. You've had to look inward. You've had to allow your heart to guide you. You've had to take risk. You've had to just be open. And this is all that we're talking about today, is all of the skills that you have in your toolbox right now and how you're going to get through your current challenge. Now we see Neptune. And this is card 21. And this is pertaining to your intuition. Okay? And shadows of the mind, like being open. So being open to your intuition in this process. Remember, it says your opportunities you never dreamed of were possible will present themselves when you least expect it. That's what we're talking about here, pile 1, is leaning into that Neptune energy and that Scorpio energy. Scorpio could be in your chart. You could be a water sign. If that's true for you, please drop it in the comments. Be very interested to find out. From a Neptune perspective, Neptune could be something that energy could be something you've been working through right now. And if that's the case, just know, leaning into your intuition, it's going to be a special height right now for you. You're going to be able to evoke your vision that much stronger. Okay, pile 1. Thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed your message. It's fantastic. So if you resonate with this message, please just drop an eagle in the comments. Let me know that you appreciate it. Like the message. That really helps the algorithm. And consider subscribing. Please subscribe if you want to. That would be great. The community has been growing, and I'm looking forward to doing some things, in the future. Definitely that, some more fun pick-a-cards. You can drop ideas in the comments. So yeah, let me know. But anyway, pile 1, thank you so much. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you selected Armadillo Protection, this is your pile and your reading. And then I pulled this card from the Rose Oracle deck. And this card says Sacred Union. Okay, so we will read this, and then I'm just going to kind of run through what we're going to do today. So I'm going to go through how you're killing the game, right? What are you doing currently? So we're going to get some general messages. We're going to find out like what skills you have, maybe what your current, challenge is, and then we'll get a little bit more information on what your secret weapons are. And we're just going to wrap the message from there. So we'll let it play out. Okay. So with that, the Armadillo card, Protection, it reads, you're entering a phase where in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. Armadillo Protection. Okay, and then for the oracle card, beloved within the sacred union, inner and outer relationships. So inner and outer relationships, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. Okay, this may be in physical relationships with other people, and it could also be in other contexts. So let's just go ahead and get started. All right. So pile 2, how is pile 2 killing the game right now? Which messages do you have for pile 2? All right, we have the Chariot card, we have the Death card, and we have the Star card in reverse. Okay. I had to make my cards YouTube friendly, so, oh my goodness. The Magician came out. You are nothing but Major Arcana pile 2. This is the pile, I think. Very powerful pile. I'll tell you what my take was in a minute, but like just even seeing the armadillo, reading that card, I had a feeling about you, and now it's just really playing out. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's get started. So, pile 2, Armadillo, the protection card. I feel like you may be having some time. Like you're somebody who can manifest pretty easily. I see you representing here as the Magician as it came out. And I'll tell you that they say you're entering a phase, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning or say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. Then we come in with this oracle deck that talks about inner and outer relationships. It's saying no to people. It may be a little bit of people pleasing, not to call you out, pile 2. It could be that. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but it could be something to the effect of doing something because you don't want to disappoint someone, not speaking your mind or living your truth because it's more about pleasing others, or it could be more about just not wanting to rock the boat. So it doesn't even necessarily mean like you're just trying to make them happy, but it could mean like, if I do this, it's going to change everything and I don't want to risk changing everything. It could be a lot of those things. So I don't know if that resonates with you at all. If it does, I think this is definitely your pile because we're really in it. You're an incredibly powerful person. Right out the gate, 4 Major Arcana. Guess what? I had a deck, like half the deck fell out. It was a Major Arcana on top. I went on and shuffled it. So technically speaking, there was 5 Major Arcana at one point that came out for you. But it was too many cards, so I couldn't take them. And if I split the deck, and I just tested that theory, and I was like, is it going to be a Major Arcana? And it is. I'm not going to show you what that is, but it proves my point. When I say you're powerful, please know you are powerful. We talk about co-creating, and that stood out to me. You're so powerful that you've been able to co-create and to manifest magician style while not holding firm boundaries, while maybe not always, while saying yes to a whole lot of things, and you still were able to do it. That's what this pile's about, and it's very interesting. So how you're killing the game of life is because you are the magician by nature. You're naturally a manifesting person. You're naturally this energy, even though it didn't come out first. Magician is card 1 in tarot. It is the card 1. 0 is the Fool, right? It's the Fool's journey ultimately. But I want you to really think about this. This is who you are. This is how you're represented. And then all the other cards talk about different aspects of you. The fact that card 17 is in a reverse is very symbolic. We're going to talk about that. But what I want to lean in on is you are so powerful that you've been able to manifest all sorts of things in your life and carry an intense burden. You're somebody who could literally be, for visual purposes and for my tarot fans out there, You could be the 10 of Wands with all the wands on your back. That's literally what you can do, and you can still manifest in that energy. So this is going to be really surprising for you, because right now there may be something you're trying to manifest in your life and you're not able to do it. And the reason why you can't do it is because now you're reaching at such a level, you actually have to set those wands down. Okay? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get into it. The Chariot starts us off with this reading. And the Chariot, this is one of my favorite decks ever. This might hurt tarot deck. I do use it a lot. But I have to say, what I love specifically about this version is that she's standing on 2 motorcycles. Look at her expression. She's very determined. She's like wearing this like crown kind of a thing with a star on top, all very significant, wand in her hand. She also has like a lot of smoke, implying that it's going incredibly fast too. She's not just coasting, she's moving with momentum. You have willpower and determination that will humble almost everyone around you. If you want it, no one can stop you, pile 2, my slip, but no one can stop you. They really can't. You're one of these people where you just go when you want something, determined, strong. You have willpower. Okay? 13, Death card. We come in with the Death card, and it's hitting strong. You know, I like this Death card too because it's a lot of mixed messaging here. When you look at this card, what it's relaying to me is that you have transformed and understand transformation. You understand endings very well. This is one of your greatest gifts, is you understand it. You notice how it's in the upright. You're not fighting it. You understand it. You understand sometimes you gotta let go of, maybe a job. Maybe it's a person in your life, a friend, family member, like someone where it's like, okay, maybe not completely letting them go, but you just understand, like, I need to set up boundaries. Like, I need to do this. I need to do that. But what's interesting about you is whatever area you're struggling with now, it's an area where you haven't done it. That's your 10 of Wands area. So I'm just going to pick an area, but apply it to your life how you see it, okay? But I'm going to try to say it in general terms, but I have to kind of make it a little specific so it can start resonating. So the way I see it here is so let's just say you've always been strong about cutting people out of your life that aren't supportive of you. You're strong about setting boundaries. You're strong about saying yes, no, and all of that. And you're really great at that at work. You're really great at that at work. But then at home, in your personal life, you're not so great at that with your friends. You're not so great at that with your family. And so hence you spread yourself too thin. And now it's really hard for you to say no. And now you're not able to get in alignment with the things you want to bring in as a magician. That could be an example of that. Okay, so you have this energy naturally, but there's an area that is being blocked. And so the Star card in reverse reflects that a little bit more. Because what we see here with the Star card is, it's like there's a disconnection. So you're disconnected with being able to tap into this Death card, being able to tap into the Endings card, okay? You want to be able to put an ending to something so that you can stop being held back, right? You're entering in a phase of alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life. And it's in your inner and outer relationships. So in my example, I said, okay, you can do it very well. You can set boundaries with your work people, right? With the people at PTA, with your coaches and your, your trainers and whoever else. You can set boundaries there, but it's so much harder with your best friend. It's so much harder with your boyfriend, your cousin, your mother, your father, like anybody like that. So hence the inner and outer relationships are reflected here from the Sacred Union. So this is blocking your magician energy. So we need to get this star in the upright because right now it's blocking your manifestation. The Three of Pentacles comes in next, bringing home this messaging. We already talked about the Magician. You are the Magician energy. This Three of Pentacles talks about you are someone who you work very well with others, okay? You're someone who's willing to be part of the team. You want to help people. You always want, if somebody's struggling, you want to be there. You want to be there. Oh, you need help on this? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Oh, you need a helping hand. Oh, you need help moving. Oh, you need, someone to help pick up your kids, this, that, whatever. You're going to help. This is your greatest challenge, pile 2, is blocking is that star card in reverse. Because it's like it's blocking your ability. Like it's like disconnecting your Magician energy. Because you're not being discerning about who you're sharing your gifts with. Okay? So that's what it's talking about here. I know we're talking about how you're killing the game, and you're killing it. You really are. In every other area, for whatever reason, and I never judge spirit, this pile needs to know how to flip the energy around. So how to flip the energy to co-create your best life, and you're very close. I feel like whatever we're talking about is probably a challenge you've had for a while, but your life has transformed. You've changed so much. Please drop it in the comments. Call yourself the Magician, by the way. Own this message. I am the Magician. I am the Magician. That's what you are. And your life reflects that. Even if you're sitting here, you're like, I don't think I've done anything like that. Sit down. I challenge you to sit down. Think about it. Think about how many jobs you've gotten and you've done really well at, what you're like, and if jobs aren't your thing, like we'll say like what you've created or what you've been able to produce, what your relationship are like with your friends, what have you done? Because there's a lot of transformation energy in here. You have an incredible sense of willpower, so I believe there's a lot of accomplishments. And if you take any judgment, self-judgment out of the equation, what you've done is impressive. I can already tell you that. Okay, so the other major arcana came out. Remember I told you, they just want to come out. You're incredibly powerful, pile 2. If I haven't said it enough, I will say it again. The Emperor. Right underneath the Chariot card. The Emperor card is coming out. Powerful, right? This is about authority. This is about establishment. This is about being structured. It's on top of the Chariot card. You have incredible willpower. Yes, you're moving with speed and momentum. And like I said, people would be afraid to challenge you. You have the Chariot behind you. And then you're evoking it like an emperor. You're using that chariot energy as an emperor. You have like a sense of authority about you. You're establishing processes. You're doing regulations. You're doing all this stuff. You're doing it at lightning speed. This is why you're killing the game. And this is also why, once you beat this next challenge, unstoppable for sure. 6 of Cups on top of the Transformation card, the Death card here. And the 6 of Cups energy, I'm going to keep shuffling and get the rest, but we're going to keep talking here. So the 6 of Cups energy is really talking about you transform and you still maintain a sense of innocence about you. You have loss or you experience like endings, but you don't lose that childlike wonder. You don't lose your ability to dream still and to imagine and to stay hopeful for the future. That lightness that a child has, I think one of the best qualities that we've probably all witnessed in kids is how forgiving naturally they are. So like, let's just say you lose your temper with a kid because they're just being annoying or whatever, and then the next day or even a few hours later, they're fine. And it's like they just don't hold it against you. It's like that. It's like you're able to not, when endings happen and they could be brutal and painful, you still have this childlike hope, wonder, and you can heal and move on. You don't really get held up by things at all. So then you notice the King of Cups card came out on top of the Star in reverse. This is giving us some information on how to turn the Star upright. Because remember, the Star in reverse means that we're disconnected. You're disconnected to that. Your Magician energy and your Death energy or your Transformation energy, the ability to accept an ending is being blocked by the Star in reverse. And the star is supposed to be the conduit, because the star card upright would be a sense of hope. So how we turn all of that upright? If you look at the King of Cups, it's talking about finding a balance. Finding a balance. Why is this so important, right? Emotional balance. It's about being in flow. Why is this so important? If we think about this armadillo card again, it says you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. Have to be discerning. What is discerning, right? It's really looking at everything around you and making a balanced choice. It's not an emotional choice. It's a balanced choice, pile 2. And that's what you just have to do here. The 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords on top of the Magician card. What we're seeing here is something that is actually pretty good, because we're talking about you don't have to, it's like a fear. It's like, if I go after what I want, I'm going to hurt other people. And the 5 of Swords represents that. And I think that's the significance on top of the Magician card. Is this representing the idea that it's like, okay, if I do this, then I'm going to hurt people. No, absolutely not. They're not going to like it. Now, that may be right. Remember, you have to be discerning and say no. You're afraid of the reaction. So this is a little bit more clarification there. That's okay. Remember, you're the Magician. It's hard, especially when it's people you care about. I feel like we're talking about inner relationships, not so much outer relationships. But if it applies to you for outer relationships, this is still your pile. But I feel like a lot of you, at least the energy I'm pulling, is for inner relationships. If this is the case, you're not doing anything wrong by going after what you want and by evoking this balance and saying no when you need to say no. If people can't take no as a complete sentence, and they're people who are that you have inner relationships with, you have to ask yourself why someone won't accept a no when you're so free to give. Like, there's something to be said about that. I think it's important for you to think about that. Like, and just, let it simmer. Just let it simmer. Like, why would someone say no? Because a lot of times they're being selfish. It's not about, they're not thinking about you at all. And that's why I want to bring this up to you, pile 2, is to really think about, if they really were for me, would they say no? Ask yourself that. Okay, Ace of Cups energy. This comes out, balancing out that 3 of Pentacles energy. The Ace of Cups energy talks about new relationships, love, and compassion. What I see here for you, pile 2, is that the idea that your Ace of Cups energy, the fact of the matter is part of the teamwork card, right? Collaboration and all these other things. Know for sure that you are calling in better relationships where you may need them to support you. But you also have plenty of love surrounded by you. So this fear may even be a fear that doesn't even have to come to pass. So it may be one of those logical things, like you don't want to disappoint them, you don't want to say no, and you can say no and nothing happens. This could all be in your mind. So keep that in mind too. Be prepared, right? Like, maybe you get some pushback, and maybe they're going to ask you to explain yourself. But this is all about being discerning. It's all about being balanced. And part of being discerning about the people in your life and their motivations for you in this life. Okay, so how is pile 2 killing the game? We're going to ask about your secret weapon. What is your secret weapon? Ace of Cups. Okay. That's your secret weapon. 9 of Swords. Yeah, you're able to get out of mental anguish pretty easily. With that childlike sense of wonder and with accepting endings, I see it so clearly here. It's beautiful. Okay. How are you killing the game? What's your secret weapon? These are all the skills you've used and continue to use. Empress. You have the Emperor and the Empress. You have the Star and you have the Magician. You have the Death card and you have the Chariot. To say you're powerful is like the biggest understanding. You have the Moon. Pile 2, this is insane. And I've been shuffling, so the World, of course. Because why wouldn't this be mostly major arcana? I think there's more major arcana here than just straight cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or no, take that one off, 5, 6, 7. 7 cards out of the spread that are minor arcana. Everything else is major arcana. Incredible. Okay, so let's get to it. We start off with the Page of Wands. It's on top of this Emperor energy and the Chariot energy. It goes further into like how you kill in the game, what's your secret weapon. This is like your leadership line. It's talking about just what makes you you, what makes you vibe. This is why you're successful. This is why you have that energy about you, like you can't be beat. It's that dreamer energy that wraps it up. You have that authority side of you. You have that like regulation side. You're making things happen. You go by the book, right? You have that willpower, that fearlessness, that drive of the Chariot. And then you wrap it up with this Page of Cups energy, this dreamer, light, happy energy. It's this energy where, you know, you're young, right? You're the Page of Cups, so you have that sensitivity to you. You have that lightness to you. This is what makes you, this is your power move, pile 2. This is your secret weapon. Is the idea that you have all of this all in one quarter. You have a lot of skill. Now, when we talk about the transformation card, and then we go into using that childlike sense of wonder and being able to accept an end and not fight it, and all those beautiful kind of childlike emotions, the Nine of Swords comes in to confirm that for us. Because what the Nine of Swords talks about is that need for anxiety, worry, sadness. When you live in this energy, when you feel this energy come into your life, you very quickly and very seamlessly can go into this innocent child mode, and you can go into accepting an ending. It's like an upward flow. This is how you get through challenges. Remind yourself of this and really look at this card. I'm going to hold it up to the screen again. I apologize for the glare. It's that time of night where I need to use this light, and so it's a little bit of glare. But anyway, this Nine of Swords, when you're in this energy, I'm going to tell you about this energy, okay? Anxiety, fear, like depression, feeling like you just want to tear your hair out, like just incredible frustration. When you're in these moments, and if you're in this moment and something you want to, it says you're entering in a phase where you want to co-create something. If you're in this energy and you have a vision of what you want to co-create, but you're in this energy, remind yourself of the Six of Cups energy, okay? Remind yourself that you have this ability to sit in your childhood innocence, to sit in that childlike wonder. You're able to hold on to that childlike hope for the future. It's not all fire and brimstone with kids. They just don't see it that way. They just, like, the world is their oyster at the end of the day. They just don't, even kids that have been through a lot, they still have this natural, hopeful energy. You have this. Tap into it, and that will flow you to accepting the ending and moving on to where you want to be, which would automatically flip the Star card upright, which means hope and faith. And that's where you want to live. The Empress card comes in here. It's complementing that Star card. And so what we're talking about here with that emotional stability, that ability to, you know, really understand yourself and understand the flow of life. The Empress card, she's abundant, right? She's nature. She's all of these things, that this beauty that flows through the world. You have these qualities. There's no reason for you not to experience abundance in your life. You are abundance. Between the Magician and the Empress and the Emperor and the Star and the Chariot, you know, you are abundance. Embrace that. The Moon card comes in on top of the 5, which is, this was that fear, right? That dark fear was like, you know, you're taking advantage of somebody, or you're not, you know, people are going to feel bad if you really step fully into your Magician energy. What I'm seeing here with the Moon card is these are fears that are illusion. Remember, the Moon card is an illusion, right? Remember, you are the Magician. Don't be distracted by this illusion. It is purely that. There's going to be people out there who are going to love you just the same, support you just the same, which was reinforced by the next card that came out. Remember, with the one with the Ace of Cups. So just know that, like, this is an illusion. When you start worrying about what people are going to think, how they're going to react, let it go. Let it go. It doesn't even matter. Because if they're for you and they love you, which you have people out there that do, showed up on the teamwork card, then guess what? They're going to be all for you. And don't give in to the illusion of the moon. The World card comes out last. And the World card came out really bringing home. You can manifest anything you want. Remember, co-create your best life. The World card is confirmation. You will and can co-create your best life. So it is your choice, pile 2, to do that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull 2 cards that I had already pre-pulled from my Tarot Oracle deck. I will post it in the comments. Okay, so we have the Capricorn energy that came out in Sagittarius energy. And the back of the deck is the Page of Wands. I meant to show that. Okay, so the Page of Wands energy, when we look at that energy, the Page of Wands talks about exploration and freedom, being creative, right? Like, he's creative. He's playing his I don't know what that is. It's like a small guitar, of course. I'm not thinking right now. Forgive me, because I know when I finish this and I post it, I'm going to remember. But anyway, leaning into your creative energy. Remember, you're co-creating. So, of course, we had this creative energy come up. I'll put it over here. But let's focus in on the Capricorn energy and Sagittarius energy. You're going to wrap the reading. And the energy is here. The Capricorn talks about this energy of just being productive, right? And like working through things and getting it done. And how fitting it's on top of this whole vibe that you had going of your working energy, your boss-like energy. The Capricorn brings it home. It brings home the fact that you're getting things done, business as usual, you're making things happen. And then the Sagittarius, a beautiful complementary card to this, and it talks about positivity, right? Longing for some adventure and just really sinking something new, new passions. And I think the Page of Wands coming out also brings that home even more. For you, this is a confirmation. Co-create your best life, not other people's best life for you. You will be bored if you don't go after what you want. The Sagittarius shows that, right? Longing for adventure. You don't want to be in that road. The World came out for you. The Magician came out for you. You're the magician. You can create whatever you want. Pile 2, create what you want. Remember, say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. Only you know what that is, but you can co-create whatever you want. Regardless, you're killing the game right now, pile 2. It's clear. So much major arcana. Okay, so drop in the comments. Please claim this message. Call yourself the magician. I would love to see how many of you are out there. You're incredibly powerful deck, so I would really, I'm very interested in hearing what your thoughts were about this. And Capricorn, Sagittarius could be in your cards. Could be in your chart, but not guaranteed, but it could be. If not, you're just resonating with those energies right now, which is also can give you further information. So if you feel called to look into these energies a little bit more, it may give you a little guidance for your next phase in life. Okay, with that, pile 2. Thank you so much. Please, if you enjoyed this message, please like it. Helps the channel. Hit subscribe. I'd love to have you join the subscribers on this channel as it's growing. And then, yeah, shoot me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the message. All right. Talk to you later, pile 2. Bye. Hello. Welcome to Luna Wisdom Tarot. This is Antoinette. And if you selected the Owl card, Observation, then this is your message. And the Rose Oracle deck, this one is Codes of the Seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. Okay. So this is going to be your message. We're talking about how you're killing the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some cards, general messages around the skills and your current challenge. And then we're going to be going into secret weapon, like what What's your secret weapon? And I have a couple other oracle cards that have been pulled for you, and then we'll wrap the messages. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so you selected the Owl card, Observation, and it says, you're being encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances into the true reality of a situation or a person's motives. You need to hear what is really being said despite the words and emotions coming from the messenger. And then your complimentary message is, Codes of the Seeds, the blueprint is within you. Take the next step. So, okay, the blueprint is within you. And you need to be encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances. What I see for you is that people can't pull, like, you're one of those people where you can't really pull off, people can't trick you. Like, you know, there's people where you can't surprise them. I wouldn't be surprised if you've never had a surprise party because you can always figure it out, right? You're that person. You're a person who just sees through people pretty easily. You're a natural truth detector or lie detector. Claim it in the comments if that's true for you, but that's how I see it. You can just claim like, yeah, I'm a natural lie detector in the comments because you're incredibly observant. You can tell when people are pulling a fast one. You can tell when people are just up to something, like they're up to no good. Interesting. This pile may resonate with pile 2. If it does, go ahead and watch it. Okay. So, I'm using I'm using the, why am I blanking on this card, these cards today? I'll put in the comments the decks I'm using. I'm so sorry. I've had like such a gappy brain today. Like I'm not remembering anything. I am so sorry. Okay, let's get to your reading. This was actually really interesting. So, you know, like I said, how are you killing the game? We're starting off with general messages here. And then somehow with all of the messages today, it wasn't even necessarily my intention, but it's going into like challenges that you're facing. You could currently be facing it, or challenges you have faced. And then like your, you know, like I said, we're going to wrap with your secret weapon or the skills that like just make you successful. And like, you know, no matter what, you see it through to the end. And this is how you do it. So we're going to go through that as well. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles comes out first. And what I see here is that you're very generous with your time and with your attention with others. And people really like admire that about you. So I see there's a lot of things going on in the cards that have come out for you. So there's an illusion, you know, the moon came out next, which is illusion, and there's 2 dogs in this card, and what's so weird is I normally don't really notice that, but I think that's important here. Then there's 2 people here, and then there's 3 people here, and there's 3 people here. So really what I'm seeing is like, you are a person that has a lot of people in your life. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to be like outgoing necessarily. You just have a lot of people in your life, maybe like a lot of friends, a lot of family members. You could just have like, you know, a team working for you. So you work with a lot of people at work, or you work in a big team. But it's like there's a lot of interaction with others. And right out the gate, like I said, you have this generous nature. And you have this ability to have incredible empathy for people. So what I see with the Six of Pentacles is like, she's giving out, you know, these coins, and it's like, it's a very empathetic move, because it's implied with these women who are bent down. It's like they're just struggling. And so she's giving to both of them, you know, and they have their hands out. And it's like, this is very representative of your energy. You're very generous, like I said, of your time, of your attention, of your energy. It could even be financially you're generous. It could be, you know, you're somebody where you see somebody needs something, you just go grab it for them. You could be like someone who makes meals for people because you know that they're struggling and you want to make sure they have a hot cooked meal. Like, you're just one of these people that you're incredibly thoughtful and generous, very empathetic. The Moon card what I was seeing for the moon card is, like I said, an illusion, but also like you're very intuitive. And so you use your intuition. Playing with the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles is like you use your intuition with others. You're very in tune with others. You like to collaborate with them. You like to talk to them about things. You like being part of a team. You like being someone who's like supporting. And this is all some of the reasons why this observation card came out. You have a lot of people in your life. And it talks about here that you're being encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances. Your natural like flow is you're very intuitive, very empathetic, dialed into others. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you could describe yourself as a guy's guy, as a girl's girl, as like, loving being part of a team, play a lot of team sports, be like the community organizer kind of a thing, like where like you have a big group of friends, but you're the ones who are organizing vacations, you're organizing Christmas, you're doing like, okay, you guys want to do a ski trip this year? This is what we're doing. Like all those things, let's go to Mexico, like you're that person. And with that, you're that person who brings people together. So the Ace of Wands came out next, and the Ace of Wands talks about like, you're very, like, you get inspired by others. You love, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're an extrovert. You don't have to be, but I wouldn't be surprised if you were. You could also be an ambivert, which is both extrovert and introvert. But you enjoy people and you find it inspiring and exciting to be around them, to be part of a greater story, to be part of a greater like experience. And that's what I see for you here with the Ace of Wands. And then the Knight of Pentacles comes up next. And the Knight of Pentacles talks about something that, is like, you're very like somebody when you need to conserve your time and your energy, you will do that, but you're not always quick to do that. So it's like you have a good balance of like, okay, I've been giving a lot, I need to take some for myself, right? So you are extroverted, but I think it's important to point out, like, you also know how to be generous with yourself, how to conserve your energy, how to take care of a routine that's more focused on you than focused on others. So you do have a good balance there. I think that's important to note. So you're not just somebody who's just like out, just giving and that's it. Like you have more to you. Okay, I'm going to ask more questions here. And so this time is, how is pile 2 killing the game? We talked a lot about your skills. I want to see like what, oh, there we go. The Emperor card. Yeah, pile 2. Probably significant for you. Did I just say pile 2? I might have. Yeah, pile 2 for sure. Watch that if that appeals to you at all. Okay, pile 3. How are they killing the game? King of Cups. Yes. This is so, oh my goodness. This is almost a continuation of pile 2. It's crazy. Just the card you're getting doesn't even, wow. I don't even know, like, different cards, different shuffling, and you have 3 cards that are the same. Crazy. I mean, it happens. It's just, it always surprises me when it happens. Okay. So, the blueprint is within you. Take the next step. We start with the Emperor card. So that Emperor card talks about, you're someone that you are a leader, you are a respected leader. People see you that way. So you see how she's owning this throne and she's sitting there with confidence and with purpose. And there's just something about this energy that's very commanding. The Emperor is someone that evokes like they're ruling with purpose, right? There's boundaries in place, like this is this energy of structure in a way because they're an emperor. Like they're going to evoke certain things that are just incredibly important. And so I think what I see here, and especially how you're killing the game, is You have this energy and you apply it when it needs to be applied. So you're not just this like soft, gooey heart where you're just like so empathetic and you only care about others, which is all great. But like there's a piece of you also that's very strong and that is very obvious just how dialed in you are with these things. The Eight of Pentacles come out next, and it's on top of the Moon card. And the Eight of Pentacles is you are really great about working on your skills and about working toward common goals. So you're somebody who has no problem being by yourself and working hard to get to where you want to go to. You have no problem learning something from the ground up and not being the expert. So just because you're the emperor does not mean you're like not able to like learn something new, or like you're not, you're actually incredibly humble because you're willing to start kind of at the bottom again and learn things. I do want to point out here that you're also the King of Cups. This King of Cups energy did come out in pile 2, and this is why pile 3, I'm encouraging you to watch it. If it resonates, you don't have to. But I say that because this card is ringing very true again for me, which is this emotional control and balance. And it says you're being encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances into the true reality of your situation or a person's motives. The true reality of your situation could simply be that it's time for you to be honest with yourself. The King of Cups comes in beautifully because this is about emotional stability, emotional control, balance, getting in flow with your emotions, being fearless to look at the things that are holding you back. If it's about a situation, then it's like kind of taking all emotion out of it and just looking at it factually and being incredibly honest with yourself instead of hiding from it, leaning into it. With the King of Cups energy, I also see it as, you notice how she's facing a different way, like she's facing looking at this. It could also be like related to the fact of the World card. So the World card also came up in pile 2, and this is another reason why I'm encouraging you to watch it. But she's facing the World card, meaning if it's about a person or a situation, it's about facing it head on. You notice how she's looking at the world head on and the world's looking at her. She's not flinching. She's not avoiding the situation. She's looking at it for where it is in life. And if we look at the World card and what it represents and what it means, the World card is about like fulfillment. It's about like completing cycles and being like in a zone. In order to really truly experience what she as King of Cups would want to experience here, as the Queen of Cups would want to experience here, she would have to face kind of her demons, right? You want to complete this, you want to move on, you want to experience something new, then you have to face what's bothering you. And so we go back to this, you need to hear what's really being said despite the words and emotions coming from the messenger. If it's a person, facing it head on will complete whatever those questions are that you have. So it's not like you don't have the questions now, it's just you're not moving forward with any of it to change any of it. It's just you've accepted it. And so what the beautiful thing here is, pile 2, pile 3. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. It's like twice. The beautiful thing here for you, pile 3, is it's hard to hear this message. I know, like when you face somebody, because you never know what they're going to tell you. What if they say something and you have to like gather your emotions? It's like the worst things, and you're hoping you don't hear them. If it's not if it's a person's motives and not a situation, know that regardless, it's going to come to completion once you face it. So it's easier just to face it head on than to not. And it shows you have the skill to do it. Your natural skill is the King of Cups. You have that natural skill set, so you can get through this pretty easily. So the Lover's card comes out next. The Lover's card is about relationships, okay? It's about personal beliefs. It's about, you know, choices. I think what's important here is if the Lovers card kind of hits you a little hard because it is about relationships, it's like, again, what's she doing? She's facing this girl head on. It's like, face it head on. And it may be like, they said, beyond deceiving appearances into the true reality of a situation. We always assume it's negative. What if it's positive? What if it's like the deceiving appearance is that, you know, you didn't think this person cared about you as much as they really do. Like, let's just say somebody you really liked. And then, you know, you're talking to them and then you find out like, oh, they really like me after all, because now you're like paying attention and you're really looking at a person's motives. And it's like, this whole time you thought, oh, well, it's just me. It's like, no, it's them too. Maybe they didn't have the courage to tell you. That could be deception too. I'm saying that because a lot of times with deception, we're going to clamp up because it seems kind of negative. And, you know, it classically can be, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be. So I want to point that out. And then, of course, remember, you're the Emperor card. Like, you're a powerful person and you're the King of Cups. Like, you, no matter what it is, you'll get through it. But it's about facing whatever the challenge is head on. And if it's a situation, like being honest with yourself. I'm so sorry, I'm yawning. Very sorry about that. I don't know why, like I just got hit with like this tiredness all of a sudden. But with that being said, if it's a situation, so, okay, let's just say a situation is like really what the problem is, like it's beyond, it's deceiving appearance into true reality of a situation. So if you look at a situation for yourself, let's just say a situation you're in and you're seeing it as like, oh, well, I can't do this because of the situation in this one. And it's like you're self-deceiving, like you're not being honest with yourself. Again, there's so much benefit in facing it head on. Because once you face it head on, it's like, okay, well, that's not really true. Then the next question would be, well, why am I wanting to be deceived here? Why am I not wanting to do that, see this accurately? Like, what's my desire to almost save my emotions around this? Then once you have that answer, now you're down the road where you can start working on it and fixing it. So just keep that in mind. Like pile 3, like just keep that in mind. There's a lot of deception doesn't have to be negative. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but I feel like for a good amount of you, it doesn't mean it is. Okay, so let's find out about your secret weapon. We always want to end it on a positive note. What's pile 3's secret weapon? Like, what's their secret weapon? What are they bringing to the table here? 4 of Cups energy, 9 of Cups energy. Okay, what's pile 4's, or pile 3's secret weapon? My goodness. Ace of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, okay, 7 of Cups. All right, right out the gate. You're so observant. You're incredibly observant. I think it's ironic that the 4 of Cups came out. But the way I see it's a bit different because it's like, this is the one area, this represents like this card where it says it's encouraging you to look beyond appearances. This is the one time you're not. You're a very observant person. So it just shows like, all you have to do is look up and look at it. That's it. It's nothing to worry about there. So it's just Spirit, I think, bringing home that message. Then we come in with the 9 of Cups energy. That's, of course, your energy. You have incredible amount of self-sufficiency. You're very independent. You're a person who's incredibly abundant. You're emotionally stable. You have a vibe that's like luxurious. So that's how you're killing the game too, is you have like this kind of luxurious, successful vibe. Even if you, doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a lot of money or dress incredibly wealthy. It's just you have a vibe. You have a vibe of success that comes out in spades. The Ace of Pentacles is next. This is a manifestation card. So this card is really like, people see you, like you see how the hands open with the pentacle, like people see you with so much, like you're one of these people who have a ton of potential. They're like, oh my God, you know, this like pile 3 has so much potential. They have all of these opportunities ahead of them. They see like you have like several roads you can go down and be successful. So it's not like you only have a talent in one area, you have a talent in several areas. And it's like that is what they see, is that you can be successful in a ton of ways. Six of Swords energy. I love this energy for you, pile 3. Gosh, I love it because it just shows your strength. Like, you're able to, you have that transition energy. You're able to accept change. You're able to take a risk. Like if you notice here, she's taking off. She's headed toward a new spot. This is normal transition energy. Like you're moving somewhere new. You're willing to take on a new challenge. Like this is your secret weapon. It's the idea that you're not just observant, okay? You have the ability to transition, to release the past, to recover. You have such strength in who you are, like, and you have so much courage because you're willing to restart. So many people will never restart one time in their life because it's just too much. And they do the same thing for the rest of their lives, even though they don't want to. Nothing wrong with doing the same thing for the rest of your life if that's what makes you happy. But if you don't want to, talk about a tragedy. Because you're living your life literally in a way that doesn't make you happy at all, but it's just keeping you safe. And that's what a lot of people do, but not you, pile 3. You have that skill. Hence the observation card coming out for you. You're very observant. And the 4 of Cups even too, like you have these 3 cups in front of you. There's one where she's looking down. She's going to look up and see it. It's not that complicated because you're the owl. You have the owl eyes. You're able to see everything. The 7 of Cups has come up next. The 7 of Cups energy is like searching for your purpose and like all these different choices. And remember how I said the world is your oyster, Ace of Pentacles. You had all these opportunities. People see you as like having an abundant future. Oh my God, pile 3 can do whatever they want. They'd be successful. Literally, the 7 of Cups, whatever you want. Where do you want to head? You'll be successful there. This is you. This is all the potential you have. So by facing this illusion, facing this, looking beyond appearances, seeing a true reality situation, just means that the world opens up for you further and what you can have. You have the manifestation card, Ace of Pentacles. You can manifest whatever you want, okay? So it's not even a thing. Okay, and then we have the Devil card as the back of the deck card. So the Devil card, what I like about this card for you is this is about that kind of shadow self. It's kind of leaning into, if this is a situation, it may be like a sign of your shadow self, like something like, that we all have, like something maybe we don't want to face, and that's why we're like kind of ignoring it. And it's just an acknowledgement of, again, face it, right? What are they doing? They're facing each other here, which is funny. I never even noticed this about these cards. This was so amazing about reading tarot, is you can read the same cards and then you see something new every time. Just face it. The shadow self can actually be a strength of ours once we know how we tick. And this is something that pile 3, you're ready to explore, and it's just going to make you that much stronger. Okay, so I have a couple of oracle cards here that I have pulled. Aries and Jupiter. Okay. So, Aries and Jupiter. Let me hold them up to the screen here. So this is Aries. So you could be Aries, you could be a fire sign, don't have to be. It could also be in your chart. And then Jupiter. Jupiter is an incredibly powerful planet and it expands a lot of things around us. So this could be significant for you. So I'm going to talk about Aries. So Aries represents impulsive, quick reactions, releasing what no longer serves you. This is beautiful energy when it comes to the observation card, right? Because it was talking about the need to hear what is really being said. So for you, it's releasing what no longer serves you around that situation or potentially a person's motives, but just being able to see it and move on. And that's the beauty of the Aries card for you, is because it is a quick reaction, right? You want to create a quick reaction here. You want to tap into this Aries energy. And then the Jupiter card. The Jupiter card is pertaining to good fortune and something that propels you forward, having, very prosperous events. We know, as backed up by the Seven of Cups energy that we saw over here, that once you resolve this, it's just more manifestation, more things open up. The World card comes into play. The Lovers card comes into play. There's a lot of open future for you once you face this. So for you specifically, pile 3, just remember that the Jupiter is going to be something that propels you forward, but it's also going to be something that brings you incredible luck. Okay, with that does conclude your message. If you enjoyed this message, please hit like. Please own. In the comments, you can just say, if it resonated with you, you could say observation, or claim, you're calling in your Aries energy. Just claim this message. Show that, that you resonated with it. That helps the channel a lot, and helps me too to understand what messages you're connecting with, and all of that. And then hit subscribe if you enjoy these messages. I post several times a week, so you'll get new videos from me all the time, and I'm always open for suggestions as well. So yes, with that, thank you so much for listening to the entire message today, pile 3, and have a good evening. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.